the Bob Marley film that's coming out. I feel like that might warrant a review.
Yeah,
I understand.
Go on.
I understand that the gentleman playing the main role is a British artist or actor, and I'm hearing that they westernized the language inside the film to make it more appealing to or understandable to Western audiences. But if we remember Bob in any of his interviews, he never westernized his language. He spoke as he spoke. So that alone has made me kind of think, maybe there's something deeper going on there. But listen, ShakaRa, I'm gonna bounce. Take it easy, brother. Big up everyone.
Thanks for coming, brother. Big. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah. Take care of yourself. As far as One Love, and if you follow me on the socials, you'll know that I've been I've made at least one comment about it. But yeah, I'm not excited about this film like other people are. You know what I'm saying? From Bob Marley film name One Love, you know what you're gonna get. You know, we know how the thing goes. As well as the fact that if you look at how Bob Marley's story has been told and popularized, especially with the aid of the family being involved in the narrative through documentaries and so on and so forth, you kind of know what you're going to get in this film. Yeah. Having said that, you know, that's one thing I know I have to watch, right, and come back to Uno. So I will definitely be doing that. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, just one thing, not related to that. Was related to what the other brother was saying about the Bob Marley movie. Yeah. So I actually was watching a thing on it where they had some professor or somebody from the language unit up at UMona. They had trained the British actor, and according to them, his mastery of patois and whatever was satisfactory apparently for everyone on set. So it should be good, but as he said, you know, the movie name One Love, and it's being premiered internationally on Valentine's Day. That was my first concern with it. It was like,
what kind of puppy show thing that?
A Rasta something on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Listen. Okay, there's two things there. First of all, yeah, we know that Hollywood films are notoriously bad when it comes to Jamaican accents. Yeah. Having said that, I did see the trailer yesterday because I went to the cinema yesterday. It's the first time I was actually seeing the trailer. And the brethren does look like he's got a relatively good accent down. Now, as far as that relates to patois, the actual language, we will see. Okay. But I would imagine that they've done their due diligence and gotten a relatively good, at least accent down. Yeah, and the mannerisms of Bob, if not necessarily the vocal inflection and so on and so forth. So I don't think that's going to be the biggest issue coming out of this film. First of all, like you said, the film name One Love. So we know from that a puppy show business like one. At the same time, when I saw the premiere in Jamaica, yeah, I was like, yeah, see, this is how easy it is for our movements to be co-opted because Babylon all up and through the premiere with prize positioning. Yeah. Now, if a film is ever made about my life and my son stand upside the Prime Minister of England and the Prince, try now. Me I come back from wherever me there, from whatever dimension, and haunt it, blow out from now to eternity. That can't go on. Yeah, so it's interesting to me that the narrative allows royalty, the royal family, yeah, and even the Jamaican establishment to come and sit down and feel comfortable, because now Bob Marley is a commercial commodity that attracts tourism to Jamaica.
But he was always a commercial commodity. He became a multi-millionaire because of a product he created and millions of people found valuable and gave him their money. So it's not shocking that a multi-millionaire
I was speaking. Thank you very much. So yeah, so to the extent that Bob is a commercial commodity, it now allows that dynamic to be the dominant story, yeah, in relation to Rastafari, right? The movement, yeah, and what the thing represented. It also means that, and Bob had his contradictions, right? If anybody would know Bob, yeah, know of Bob's story, you know, so when it comes to certain ideals, Bob had his contradictions, yeah. But then it also means that there are certain elements of that story that are going to get profile and hyped up and so on and so forth, and certain other elements that are not going to get that kind of focus and attention in a film such as this. And so we know this going in, yeah. Like I don't have to have seen the film to know this, you know what I'm saying? So the analysis, when we watch the film, the review is just going to be a breakdown of how they went about, depoliticizing this film and this story as much as possible. Yeah, that's all this is going to be. Yeah, and so we recognize that from Jump Street. You know what I mean? So I saw the thing go. You know, all right. I think I missed a few comments.
I want to know why you and Muta them so disappointed with the One Love thing and the aesthetic behind it and the people that were coming on. Because we don't want to make out Bob Marley to be something that he wasn't. At least you admit in the of him contradictions. But Muta the other day complain and I'm disappointed, etc. But everybody know say Bob Marley wasn't this revolutionary that we're not making him out today. So I don't know why we're not so upset about the One Love fool.
I haven't seen One Love to be upset about it. I'm just aware of the narrative of Bob Marley's life, and how it is used within the popular space. Yeah, so it's not a.
I wasn't finished speaking still.
Muta as a Rastafari brethren and somebody who knew Bob and understands the dynamics around him firsthand, is entitled to his commentary. The depoliticization of Bob is a dynamic that is true, notwithstanding his own contradictions. Yeah, the extent, the attempt to, for example, as my brother Heru Afori Atta said, if really and truly, from a different perspective, we'd have to have our own resources and create a film looking at not just Bob Marley, but probably the Wailers, yeah, called Black Man Redemption or African Unite, yeah. Jump Nyabingi or something still. So Zimbabwe. I would love to see a film, for example, yeah, that just dealt with that, just looked at Bob Marley's experience in a Zimbabwe. Yeah, when he traveled there for the independence of Zimbabwe in 1980. Yeah, and the dynamics surrounding my personal favorite Bob Marley album, which is Survival. I think I'm gonna go as far as saying that Survival is objectively his best body of work, right? You know what I'm saying? That's my personal opinion, yeah. Which might sound like a contradiction because I say it's objective, but you know what I mean. So go. Yeah, so nobody's making up Bob Marley to be the ultimate revolutionary and all of these things. And at least certainly I wouldn't.
I'm disappointed still. But the question with the spook movie.
If ones and ones sound disappointed, I think that ones and ones, to a degree, especially someone in the position of Muta, is entitled to his disappointment. I think that the attempt to whitewash Bob Marley's legacy goes beyond the individual and its contradictions. That it's a ploy in commercial media that has been entrained since the time of Bob Marley's life. And so I think ones and ones are entitled to critique that. Bob Marley's own personal contradictions do not negate that analysis, nor does any more than Bob Marley's more revolutionary inclinations would negate his contradictions in relation to inclination. So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, about the Bob Marley thing, Kofi saying that people shouldn't be disappointed. My observation is that most people who knew Bob personally seem to have issue with how the family has been managing his legacy and his image since his death. You know, my father knew all of the Wailers as well. And from what I
Yeah,
could tell from all the stories I've heard about Bob Marley and things like that, and all the other Wailers, you could argue that Bob might not have been the most revolutionary of the three, but if I was to rank Bob personality in terms of traits, he'd be number one, more like a street youth, number one. If you're going to depict him, I'd
all right.
expect him to
He'd
look
have a fight.
like a
You know,
street youth.
he'd have a fight with Bunny Wailer when it comes to the street thing. Bunny Wailer, a bad man.
Oh no, all of them naturally in the street certain
Yeah,
way, but like,
yeah,
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 all of them would fit that category. I mean, you see the pictures with Bob and Claudia Massups and Bucky Marshall and all of that, right? So Bob not
right.
them to is similar type of characters. You're dealing with people in the streets, right? And I'd say number two from that would be the rebel and the happy go. I mean, one love itself. A lot of people have the misconception that it's about romantic love. Even them releasing February 14th kind of would mislead you to think about that when it's really about, no political war, like stopping the political war in West Kingston. So, Bob, if you're going to rank him
Right.
personality in terms of weighting, I would say number one, him is a street youth. Number two,
Yeah,
he's a rebel. And then number three, you could probably slip in some of that hippie image that them try to depict him as. But that would be
yeah,
the least
and
of
like I
his
said,
characteristic.
but again, Bob had his contradictions, right? And I think he fed into a lot of that. I think he bought into a lot of that. And there are some people who believe that he went down that road and was trying to, before he died, come on the way back. Yeah. So if you look at the albums that he was making, for example, some would consider his most popular album, Exodus, to be his most way out album. I know certain rats that them don't listen to the album there. Can't stand it, yeah. But then you get now Survival and Uprising, which is him kind of, that some would suggest returning to, a deeper sense of himself, in and the Rastafari movement in some way, shapes, or form. So you get different narratives, you know what I'm saying? But I agree with you. I think that there are many brothers and sisters who lived the life at the time, and are very critical of how he has been co-opted, and how we have allowed his legacy to be co-opted, yeah, to a significant degree, to serve the interests of corporations, particularly as those corporations relate and interrelate to Jamaica. The one of the major ones is for how long marijuana has been banned in Jamaica, but then whenever Jamaica wants to bring tourists to the country, they feature a picture of Bob Marley with a big spliff in his mouth. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and all of these things. Yeah, whilst they're imprisoning man, yeah, for being caught with a draw. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be interested as well, man, to see how they depict the Wailers in this film. And that vibration. I believe they're gonna get very little, if any, profile. And I'm also going to be interested to see the extent to which they, in the context of that One Love Peace concert, whether they at all depict Peter Tosh's contribution to it. Yeah, I'm putting that out there from now. Yeah, I put that out there from now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be interested to see how they depict Chris Whitehell. That's going to be an interesting dynamic. And one of the things I'm going to be very interested to see how they depict is the relationship between Bob mother and the little white boy, when I'm calling him father. Because I've realized, well, there's been a thing for quite some time now to depict that thing as some forbidden love story, when this man was any British sailor, like many of them, that were coming to Jamaica and just abusing the sisters them. Yeah. Bob Marley was very young when she met this white man. And a few years ago, when I went to Jamaica in 1997, my father, we went to the Bob Marley Museum, and my father was vexed. He had to speak to the people there, because at that time they had a picture of the white man, yeah, in that museum, and there was not one picture of Bob Marley's mother. And I remember my father kept making noise, yeah, in the place, yeah, about that fact. So I agree with you, Melaman. And there are people that are aware and have an interest in preserving the cultural heritage of Rastafari and the Black Power movement in Jamaica. Of course, if that's not your concern, if that's, you know, if you are allegiant to the political establishment and those who the political establishment is allegiant to, namely British and American imperialism, you are not going to find the distortion, the whitewashing of Bob Marley's legacy a problem. In fact, you'll probably be aligned with it, yeah? But Muta Baruka is not one such person. So if he finds things to critique, he's going to critique them. Says, I'd rather want to see a proper, well-produced film on the Wailers or Garnet Silk and so on. Yeah. Hear what I'm saying, though. Listen to this carefully, yeah? And this is, I think, where Melaman was going. You can tell the story of Bob Marley dealing with his own contradictions, but without whitewashing the thing. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you can do that. You can do the story of Bob Marley accentuating his relationship, for example, with Mortimer Plano. I wonder if they're going to depict Mortimer Plano in the film. His relationship with Africans on the continent. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. You can emphasize those elements without telling any lies. That's a story that you can tell. The fact that they choose to tell the stories that they tell is political. That is the point. And so if you are aligned with that political agenda, of course, you're going to love this film and everything that it stands for, because it is anti-African, pro-American, pro-Western propaganda. So the pro-Western propagandist is either not going to find a problem with this film, promote the film, or challenge those, attempt to negate those who do have a problem with that, with the narrative. That's what it is. We just have to accept those are the dynamics. All right. You know what I'm saying? You know, well, afraid just have to, you expect your enemy to act like your enemy. That's just what it is. Yeah. And we're in the position that we are in at the moment, where we don't have a comparable film industry. One of the weapons that we have is analysis. Yeah. One of the weapons that we have is analysis. All right. And so let nobody shame you into negating, yes, your analysis. All right. I'd be interested to see the relationship between him and Rita too. Yeah, in this day and age, I would imagine. And by the way, the actress who's playing Rita Marley is an excellent actress. She's one of my favorite actresses at the moment from a creative point of view. So I'm going to enjoy it from that perspective. I'm sure the film's going to be very well acted, very well produced, very well directed. I'll them thing there. Which I did say earlier, but it bears repeating. I went to see the One Love. So they always, everything Bob Marley, No, sorry, what's this one? What's it called? One Love? It's called Get Up, Stand Up. Musical that was in West End. Took my Empress to see it for her birthday and my daughter and all of these things. And Rita Marley's character in that production was a very powerful part of the production. The sister who played her very well and sang beautifully. Yeah. In this day and age, whereby a lot of films are centered around powerful and engaging female leads, I don't think they're going to miss an opportunity to give Rita Marley a significant role in this film. Yeah. If only for commercial purposes. However, it is also right that they do so. So it'd be interesting to see that relationship. It was a very complex relationship as well. And so it'd be interesting to see how they deal with that particular relationship there. So, all right. Inner Black says, you wouldn't have Bob without Bunny or the Wailers, in fact. Yeah, Bunny Wailer, Peter Tosh, and the rest of the Wailers. Yes, that is absolutely true. But this is the point that I'm making. Yeah. One of the ways that, and by the way, I have not heard Muta Baruka's commentary on the film. Yeah. So but me know come yesterday. So me know the argument them. I have an idea of what his concerns would be. Yeah. But one of the things that is done with the legacy of Bob Marley is to almost divorce him from the legacy of the Wailers. So there's a number of songs. Yeah. If you go online and all about the place, albums, YouTube, and digital streaming platforms, yeah, where them say Bob Marley and they name the song, but the song is actually the Wailers. You know what I'm saying? And there's a whole next story in terms of Island Records and Chris Whitehill and how he amassed his fortune to become the founder and proprietor of Island Records. We know they're not going to go into that in the film. Yeah. But try know when I review the film, I promise you, I will bring you that history. Okay. The history of Chris Whitehill family and how he comes to be the founder of Island Records and make more money off of Bob music than Bob. These things. All right.